Welcome back to the Harrop Ultimate Streetcar Invitational, our final episode. On our previous episode, we went drag racing on the 1/8 mile, and Heath Moore, that turned out some surprising results.
That's right. The fact that we had elapsed time combined with reaction time really mixed up the results. We thought the Porsches were going to be so fast, and they were rapid, but when we saw Jeff and his reaction time, he couldn't help but be the quickest and take the result.
Yeah, the Lotus took the Porsches out in the drags. This is the section, though, today everybody's looking forward to the most, I'm sure. Circuit laps. We've got the Harrop Carrera Cup chase car out there with Bryce Washington behind the wheel. Now, Tim Harrop, he had some dramas very early in the segment. Actually didn't get to lock in a lap.
That's right. It wouldn't be a motorsport event without some mechanical issues, and we had a transmission line come off the car, so fortunately, it wasn't a major mechanical, but we had to retire the car for the afternoon.
He wasn't the only one with dramas. Unfortunately, Aaron Wheatley, or as it says on his plates in the VE GTS, he also had some dramas.
He drove this car so hard with the factory HSV brakes, they just got too hot, so the fluid boiled, wasn't able to compete in the afternoon session. But let's hear from Aaron and his passion for thoroughbreds.
I have to actually train living animals, being horses, to pay for the horsepower I like to sit on and get the adrenaline going with, yeah.
He's always tied up, whether it's 4 legs or 4 wheels, with horsepower thoroughbreds of some form.
This one's much more fun than the one-on-one horsepower that I have to ride every day. Gets the adrenaline going more, that's for sure. But it's all part and parcel. We do for a living what we've got to do to pay to enjoy our hobbies, and it's a hobby for me, the cars. It takes my mind off everything else that I have going on at the time, and with training horses is stressful also, and helps me get the release from doing that. Getting this car out on the track and enjoying the car for what it is. I bought this car about 1.5 years ago, and doing my homework on the car when I brought it, it had some Harrop components on it, the supercharger and rocker covers and some things like that. And since learnt more about their products to enhance the car and things like that, and how it works and the components they make, and obviously just if you're chasing horsepower, you have to look at different ideas and different mechanics you can put on the car to create it. So I think the product they sell for the horsepower that it makes is very good. So that was where I got involved, and about 12 months ago I did another Harrop track day with it, which was a fun day. Good group of guys, they ran it very well. I just look at any opportunity I can get to the track with the car with the right kind of people and a good mix of cars that today has been, I've always been a Holden fan, always. You're either a Holden or you're Ford, I guess. Holden HSV fan, the GDS is, if you're going to have a Holden, and it's the top of the range for what it is, it's a performance car. So that's probably what's drawn me to the GDS. And always my goal was to have the horsepower between 600 and 700 horsepower, because that's when you're having fun. It's got a lot of modifications on it, being brakes and suspension, and it's endless. Once you do this one thing, you end up doing another thing to help everything back the car up, so it's a solid car and track worthy, I suppose. It's been interesting today, many different elements that we've done with the car that I've never done before. Being, dragging the car, motor carner, having to, get it going and stop it hard. So it's different. The cars are all set up specifically for different environments and different things. For me, I set the car up to do track days, and it's been great to bring in and do some different things with it, and I've enjoyed that too, and learning how I could way better drive this car in those different situations, I suppose you'd say, and how the car could be differently set up.
Let's take a look at the specs of this awesome VE GTS, and amongst many other things, there's a Harrop 2300 Black Series supercharger, comp cam, twin fuel pump, and upgraded oil pump as well. This is one cobalt-induced thoroughbred in his hands. Time now for our circuit laps, and the little Hillman. What an impressive car, 2 minutes 3.8.
We love having a chrome bumper in the field.
This guy, he told us at the start of the show, Brendan Findlay, he was going to be 3/4. You know what? This is not a 3/4 lap for me. He's on it.
That looks like 105% to me, Wade.
1 minute 56.4. I love the look on his face here when he gets out of shape, shakes his head. It's just a beautifully designed piece of road car.
He brushed it off though and pushed on for a good lap time overall.
Had some clutch issues throughout the course of the weekend, but as you said, certainly very passionate. So too is this lady, Kim Smith. 1 minute 51.3 in the Maloo. She's exceptionally smooth behind the wheel.
And her enthusiasm, the way she gets into actually learning how to drive the car, maintain the car, it's really what this event really is all about.
She was 12th overall. Terry Henderson is another guy that just typifies passion never ever goes out of style for motoring, does it? He and his lovely wife, they had a fantastic time. A 148.6, he was pretty quick.
Well, well. It's going fast in a straight line and a little bit tentative around the corners, but still a great time overall.
He does a fair bit of drag racing stuff when he gets a chance to put the car out on the quarter mile. 1 minute 48.6 for Terry H. Martin Moran, the GTO Coupe. There's been times I've been really impressed with this car.
And Martin's got a lot of track experience. He's got the race seat, the harnesses. He spent some time developing the car and his driving, and the lap time shows.
It was impressive in the Motorcana for a big, heavy car up against like the Audi and the Porsches and the Lotus. I thought he did a nice job there. This guy is a very handy driver overall. Krista Jaeger in the Sylvia.
That's right, driver trainer Monday to Friday and professional drifter on the weekends. So he really knows how to get the most out of this car. I don't think the potential is what it could be.
He's only had this car a short time too. Purchased it off a friend, 1 minute 45.6. Now, how about this? Just listen here. Christian FITZGERALD getting himself pumped up. I'm pretty sure his old man Peter doesn't have the same tunes bopping out of his car today.
I don't know whether it's Mum's CD, but he's got the tunes tuned up and he's hooking into the track now. He's got Bryce following him in a bloody impressive time.
1 minute 40. Go again.
Bloody impressive time.
Good job for Christian FITZGERALD, 140.4. Now Craig Dean, 1 minute 39.6. It was an untidy lap. Got to give him marks of style.
Full points. Certainly a veteran of tarmac rally and handling Mustangs like this. I think this car, fresh build, a couple of ABS issues inducing some understeer, and then he was heavy on the right foot with oversteer.
1 minute 39.6 for Craig Dean in the Shelby GT. Such a gorgeous car. First time it's really fired any shot in anger.
And I know he's going to be keen to have it back next time.
Absolutely. I'm keen for him to have it back next time. We're getting into the business end of the deal right now. Into the top six, Dave Sharp, the American in the 86. Now, he recently drove this car in a time attack.
That's right, World Time Attack 2 weeks ago in Sydney, and found it quite difficult sitting on the right side of the car, shifting with the left hand there, but Winton seemed to really suit his driving style, and he managed to get a pretty impressive time from the 8.6.
Lovely warm day considering he's heading back to the Ohio snow. 1 minute 37.9. Ben Schutz in the Harrop BMW M3. He came in with a 1 minute 37.4. Was that what you were hoping for?
I think there's more potential with the car. It's reasonable. Ben's a very competent driver. I think this chassis tuning and suspension, we can get some more time out of this car. But again, a fresh rebuild after a nasty shunt earlier in the year.
Stephen Bradford, this guy has been absolutely impressive on every different facet of the Husky. 1 minute 34.6 in the 9972 Turbo Porsche, and he's been just a really good proposition.
Absolutely, a competent driver, tarmac rally experience, Target Tasmania, high country, and plenty of circuit laps. So he knows how to drive an all-wheel drive car like this, turbo. He's got good tyres and the lap time shows.
And great wheels too, love those forge lines. Now these are the last two cars we saw and the top two ranked driver car combinations in the circuit laps. Jeff Morton, he has come fully prepared for this, and as you can see in the eyes, he's very determined.
Yeah, he means business. First time to Winton. Simply Sports Cars have prepared this car. It's got, they quote 400 horsepower, but I think well over 450 to be honest when the lap time shows.
1 minute 32.9, and Jeff Morton from Sydney, as you said, first time around Winton and absolutely carving it up. 1 minute 32.9 puts him as the second fastest car in this session and a real contender for champion overall.
And it's interesting, even though the lines are somewhat unconventional, he still manages to get such an impressive time. So he knows how to push the limits of the car, and you can see the way the car moves around. That's reflective of him putting it right up against the limit.
I'm pretty sure that if you run this event next year at this circuit, you'll come down here and do some testing before. He's that kind of guy. Bryce Washington right behind him there in the Harrop Cup car, giving us some great chase cam shots. But when you combine experience and high performance, this is what happens. 1 minute 30.5, fastest man on the racetrack, Peter FITZGERALD, the legendary Porsche peddler. Don't think he wasn't trying.
Absolutely, he's really pushing that car. He knows his way around Winton like no other. The car's got lots of grip, lots of horsepower, and I know speaking to Bryce, he really had to push the Cup car to stay behind him.
He's got a lot of laps around this place, so 1 minute 30.5. We know he wanted to beat the Audi no matter what. He never wanted to let his son Christian get the better of him. But Fitzy will be absolutely wrapped with an overall win in the circuit laps. 1 minute 30.5 puts him about 2 seconds ahead of Jeff Morton, who gives away an enormous amount of experience compared to this man around this circuit. Well, the circuit results sees Peter FITZGERALD take the win from the Lotus Elise of Jeffrey Morton. Stephen Bradford third fastest. Shoots in the BMW M3 was fourth. Sharp, great job, the American into the top 5. And as we know, Brendan Findlay certainly had his hands full in that awesome VE Coupe. Time to head now into the presentation phase of the weekend.
Craig, awesome effort from Mustang Motorsport. You've got the very first 2015 Shelby GT Mustang in the country, and you've brought it along to Husky 2015 and managed to take home some silverware. How does it feel?
Good, mate. We had a good day. The track was good. Just the whole organisation was really good. Harrop did a great job, and look forward to coming back next year if they invite me, and see if we can come back with a blistering one next year.
Dave, President of Forge Line, it's been a long trip to come and have a bit of fun in the Toyota 86 over the last couple of weeks, and it all culminated in taking out the top Japanese award at the Husky event 2015. How does it feel?
Yeah, it feels great, just exactly. My trip's coming to an end, been here for a couple of weeks now. What a great way to end the trip.
Tim Harrop, our capable operations manager at Harrop, has pedalled the Holden VF today. It's been a little bit of a mixed bag with a couple of issues, but you managed to take out the top Aussie spot regardless with some consistent times overall. How does it feel and how did the car drive?
Yeah, it feels good, Heath. Yeah, a few issues and a transmission issue which stopped us getting out to do those time lapse at the end, but the Motorcana and the drag, we managed to get a couple of good, reasonable times in, obviously, to get this trophy.
So we're going to start off with design and engineering. Everyone, we made it democratic, voted for each other's vehicles yesterday at Harrop and throughout the day. And the standout winner was Brendan with his stunning VE Coupe, with no doubt the amount of work and labour of love that went into modifying what was once a VE Maloo into what it is today. And I know you had a couple of issues with the clutch, but in the spirit of the competition, still sort of pushed on and put on a great show. So let's hear it for Brendan.
Yeah, it feels good, thank you. We had a bit of problem with the clutch overheating, but we made it through the day. It's all in one piece, so I had a really great day and couldn't be happier.
Yeah, in the design and engineering side of things, congratulations to Brendan Findlay for scoring the win. But let's look further down the order. Kim Smith was actually second in the Maloo. Great result for her. Aaron Wheatley was third in the GTS. Peter FITZGERALD's Turbo was the fourth position. Ben Schutz in the BMW M3 was fifth, but a special mention to Craig Dean. The Shelby GT was not actually at the event on the first day, and that's when judging was done. You have to wonder whether that car would have been right up there in the design and engineering phase had he been there on the day of judging. Moving into the individual disciplines for the day, the Motorcana win went to Stephen Bradford, and the auto test and drag racing section, a double win for Jeff Morton in the Lotus.
By a small margin over the Harrop M3 was Christian FITZGERALD in the Audi.
Great, mate. Actually took me by surprise a little bit, but it shows the consistency throughout the day and each event really adds up at the end of the day and got us third, so came along at the end.
A great day, good mix of activities. So the Motorcana was a little bit rusty to begin with, but ended up getting a good time there, and it was a good combination, I think, of breaking down the circuit and also doing the full circuit to finish with.
And the car performed well?
Yeah, the car was great. It was pretty much as I drive it to work, except for the pads and the rims and the tyres we put on. So out of the box, incredibly reliable and great car, fun to drive.
Ready to drop the kids off at school in the morning?
Yeah, the toddlers will be back in the car tomorrow morning and they'll be happy it's in one piece, or the wife will be.
How does it feel?
Yeah, it's good. It's terrific. It's nice of my customers to lend me their car occasionally. So thanks to Sally Ann Haynes, who owns the car, letting me bring it up. And thanks to my family for joining us on the weekend, and my son for doing such a good job, and everyone that turned up. They're a fantastic bunch of people.
Well, Jeff, an absolutely awesome effort in your Lotus. Simply Sports Cars have put together an incredible package. You are new to Winton and new to some of the disciplines that we did, but how does it feel?
Yeah, I think the biggest shock was winning the drag race, actually. I've never done a drag in this car before, so to beat two 911 turbo Porsches over 200 metres, wow. Just amazing, yeah.
Yeah, the car looked so quick. It's obviously light and it's got plenty of power to back that up. You were consistent everywhere though, like fast on the track, fast in each of the Motorcana, the auto test and the drag, and that's a fantastic effort, and we hope we can see you again next year.
And absolutely, count me in already.
So Heath, it's historic and it's fitting that the first ever running of the Harrop Ultimate Streetcar Invitational has joint winners.
We never would have thought we'd see a turbo and a Lotus in the top spot, but that's exactly what happened.
Stephen Bradford's consistency rewards him with third place. Well, second overall, really. You move back then to Christian FITZGERALD in the Audi, who certainly proved a point. Ben Schutz in the Beamer. Dave Sharp, the American, will go home and be very pleased with that. And considering he missed the first day of the way we did things, Craig Dean, exceptional for his first effort, with 7th. Well, that wraps up an unbelievable 2015 Husky. And Heath, you got to be excited, satisfied, and a bit relieved, I would imagine, that it's over.
Absolutely, Wade. It's been an incredible day. The weather was kind. Race Solutions and all of the organisation that the Harrop team put into this event. We came up with the concept probably 6 months ago, and just wanted to bring together the ultimate street cars, both old cars, new cars, and everything in between, and put them on track and put them up against each other. And importantly, the personalities that we had at this event is what really made it successful.
Absolutely, it's the Harrop Ultimate Streetcar Personality Invitational. That's what it is. It's been an amazing event. Hope you've enjoyed our coverage over the last couple of days, and looking forward to 2016. Roll on.